What is going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be breaking down the EARTHSHAKER versus KUNKKA matchup. Now, this matchup is one of my favorites to play, especially when I'm the EARTHSHAKER, because KUNKKA gets absolutely destroyed by this hero. You have to really get absolutely outplayed or just be completely out of position and not use your timings properly, because this hero does so much damage to a melee hero like KUNKKA. You can use your enchant totem to either go for CS or deny. I personally like to harass him as much as possible. That way I can push him out of lane. Sure, he has X marks the spot and he can always go back to base and regen, but the whole point is he's going to be missing so much CS because you can shove the wave right into his tower and he's not going to have a really good time. It's not a matchup that KUNKKA is practically very good against. My starting build usually when I'm the EARTHSHAKER is going to be with the windlace and a blood grenade. Blood grenade is absolutely insane with EARTHSHAKER, especially when he is up in melee range, and that blood grenade can help you get a kill because it'll slow him down to the point where you can get off another enchant totem, and that can be the difference of getting a kill or not. So I definitely recommend you guys to get this item. It's definitely very good and it'll definitely win you a lot of lanes, similar to Pudge where Rot and blood grenade go hand in hand. It's definitely very strong. There's a few things KUNKKA could do. He could definitely stay back a little bit more, not walk up into the EARTHSHAKER and wait for the EARTHSHAKER to use enchant totem to secure a last hit or secure the range creep, and that's when you Tidebringer him. Otherwise, if you keep consistently walking up and getting enchant totem, you're not going to have enough resources in the lane to actually survive. And on the EARTHSHAKER, you just rush phase boots, get yourself a bottle. The windlace is just always good because EARTHSHAKER's movement speed is always quite slow, so I feel like it's very good to maneuver around and not get Tidebringered in the face more often. So you can definitely escape a few of those by having the windlace. You could also start with a ring of protection if you feel like it's that important. For me, I definitely don't feel like it is, but you could definitely go for it and get a lot of value. That way you don't get harassed that much from the Tidebringer. Once the EARTHSHAKER gets the Aghanim Scepter or the Silver Edge, it's pretty much go time. You can absolutely destroy the KUNKKA left, right, and center. There's not really much he can do. He can throw out the boat and live for a little bit longer, but you can practically just pop him, and if he's inside a creep wave, if you just echo slam and he's just gonna pop, he's gonna die. It's a very difficult matchup because EARTHSHAKER puts so much pressure on the map, especially when he's mid. You definitely don't want to stay in the mid lane farming too much. Just because your echo is on cooldown doesn't mean you can't offer kill threat, especially if you're facing up against a lot of melee heroes where you can bridge the gap with fissure, and if on your bottle you get yourself a haste rune, you can definitely make a lot of plays. You don't need echo slam from the mid lane to make plays, but if your team doesn't really need you, your side lanes are going very well, then you could definitely farm your Aghanim Scepter and get it at a much better timing, which is also very strong. But I definitely enjoy fighting a lot on the EARTHSHAKER. It's definitely very good for him, and once you max your enchant totem and aftershock, you're going to be doing a lot of damage, and it's very underrated damage, as most people don't expect EARTHSHAKER to be doing so much damage, especially in the early stages, as he's not a typical mid lane hero like KUNKKA is. They're definitely not going to be expecting the pick once you see the KUNKKA pick. If you do see it, just pick the EARTHSHAKER and you're going to have an absolute ball against that hero. You're going to absolutely destroy him. It's definitely a matchup that I'm very familiar with, and it almost never goes good for the KUNKKA unless you're just playing very greedy. You're diving his tower, you're doing really stupid shit. But if you're not doing stupid stuff, you're gonna be destroying the KUNKKA pretty much every single time, no matter how good they are. The only thing they could do is reset the lane a lot more. They can just X marks the spot, use their bottle, and get back to full HP. But you're still gonna be winning on the XP and the farm, just because you're gonna be getting all that farm while they're going to base. It's gonna take them a little bit of time. They're gonna miss a few creeps, and you can take advantage of that. Absolutely. Some things you can do on the KUNKKA is to rotate to the side lanes. If you see that the EARTHSHAKER TP top and he has no TP, then go to another side lane and try and make pressure that way, so you don't have to fight into him. Because if you lost your lane against an EARTHSHAKER, you know he's really strong and he's hitting pretty hard. You definitely want to go to the opposite lane and pressure them out. It's going to definitely force the EARTHSHAKER to run back to mid or do what he's got to do on the other side lane, and you're going to be able to pretty much be uncontested and have the upper man advantage, as the EARTHSHAKER doesn't have a TB scroll available. But that's pretty much what I recommend to do. If you're the KUNKKA, you can always build Blade Mail. You can get a Silver Edge as well to try and get away from the EARTHSHAKER, but if he carries Dust, you're still equally screwed because he can just block you off with a really well placed fissure and can always echo slam you. And again, echo slam is one of the best tools in Dota, one of the best team fight ultimates ever. So you're going to be providing a lot more value for your team than a KUNKKA is. KUNKKA is really strong, but it's not as good as it used to be. It doesn't do as much damage as it used to. So overall, when it comes to ultimates, EARTHSHAKER has a much better ultimate, more utility, and can have a lot more impact than a KUNKKA boat will. And overall, the toolkit of Shaker allows him to fight consistently, as X marks the spot torrent is a nice control, but it really doesn't do much damage. In terms of EARTHSHAKER, you have your enchant totem pretty much on a 5-second cooldown, and in the later stages of the game, it's going to be an even faster cooldown. I think you can get it up to 1.5 seconds in the late stage of the game with an Octarine plus the 25 talent. So you can definitely push more tempo with this here. You can also get a blink dagger on the Shaker, but I definitely enjoy playing the Aghanim Scepter right click build with the enchant totem. You can get MKB, you can get Daedalus, you can get the Silver Edge. I like Silver Edge better because it helps me cut the gap and it gives you that guaranteed crit, which is also very important. It's gonna definitely drop support heroes pretty quickly. Very underrated. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I think 95% of the time EARTHSHAKER wins this matchup. From what I've played this matchup quite a bit, so I'm very familiar with the matchup. I have not seen a KUNKKA beat me yet. Not just me, I haven't been able to beat an EARTHSHAKER myself, even when I've played the KUNKKA matchup and I've been on the KUNKKA side. I have not been able to beat him in the lane. You can beat him in the game for sure because KUNKKA scales pretty hard. EARTHSHAKER scales decently, not as good as he used to for sure, but you still have the threat of Echo Slam plus Refresher. It can definitely turn fights very, very massively, but KUNKKA has Torrent Storm, so you could definitely sway the game towards your side, but the lane pretty much EARTHSHAKER favored almost all the time. So it definitely comes down to your rotations and how you play the map is going to determine whether you're going to beat the KUNKKA in the late game or not, and also depending on what item build he goes for, because EARTHSHAKER is not a hero that likes to buy items like BKB, doesn't like to buy items like AC, which are items that you definitely need if you're going to man fight KUNKKA in the late game stage. When he's super farmed, he's got a couple of Daedaluses and he's doing a shit ton of damage to you. So you definitely need to be careful and itemize correctly on both sides. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. I hope I explained the matchup correctly. You definitely are favored when you're on the EARTHSHAKER side, and there's definitely a few things you can do to outplay the Shaker. If he's being a little bit dumb, you can always punish him, and if you land all your Tidebringers or the majority of them, you're going to be chunking him down quite a bit and play a little bit more aggressive. But if the EARTHSHAKER knows what he's doing, he's going to be hitting you left, right, and center. Even though he's going to be missing a few CS, he's going to be hitting you with Enchant Totem off cooldown, maxing Earth Shock. He's going to be doing so much damage that you won't be able to reset the lane fast enough for you to be able to do what you got to do and win the lane. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Like would be much appreciated. See you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.